I'm Dave Allen and you're watching the very first edition of Tees Business TV, a new concept from the team behind Tees Business, the voice of business in our region. Through Tees Business TV, we'll bring you all the latest local business news and views with the help of some of the region's leading businesses and business leaders. Our first ever Tees Business TV show is co-sponsored by our friends at PD Ports, owners and operators of Tees Port and guardians of the River Tees, plus leading local IT firm Cornerstone Business Solutions. Soon, I'll introduce you to this month's studio guests, while features include a quick-fire Q&A with brand guru Mark Easby. There's a special feature on Middlesbrough's industrial technology systems, and HR specialist Jo Davies will give us her topical advice. But first, the latest business news. The first steel frames that will become the Tees Works Skills Academy building have been erected as work kicked off on the development. Tees Valley Mayor Ben Houchen visited the Dorman Point area of Tees Works to see firsthand the work on the Skills Academy's headquarters, which will support the work of the organisation in helping local people take advantage of the jobs and opportunities being created on the site. The firm charged with helping deliver a £26 million investment into the British Steel's Skinning Grove plant says it's incredibly proud to be given the task. Building Design Northern has appointed lead architects and engineers for the steel firm's new processing facilities, a development first revealed last August, which marks the steel company's largest investment in its special profiles business for more than 30 years. Tickets for a special event to mark the launch of the Power of Women campaign's website have sold out within days. The team behind the Power of Women campaign, which was created to lift and shift the aspirations of girls in the Tees region and beyond, has created a site that will serve as a valuable resource to young people. To celebrate the launch of the website, the Power of Women campaign is hosting a special event, Our Vision for 2022, at the Curve at Teesside University on February the 16th. Visit the new website at powerofwomen.org.uk. Middlesbrough's flagship Cleveland Centre has been snapped up by the council for £12 million, just over 5 years after it changed hands for £85 million. As part of a drive to secure the town centre's long-term future, Middlesbrough Council has confirmed completion of a deal for the well-known shopping centre. Winning a Tees Tech Award, for which 2022 nominations are now open, was a great honour for a boss whose video games firm is firmly on the world digital entertainment map. And Bob Makin, MD of Middlesbrough-based Sock Monkey Studios, says that rubbing shoulders with the other nominated businesses showed the depth and variety of tech talent the Tees Valley has to offer. Bob, who has led his company to more than 10 years of sustained growth, won the coveted Leader of the Year gong at the now open and available at teesbusiness.co.uk, and the deadline is Friday 11th of March. As you've just heard, there's so much good news around the Tees Business region right now, so I'm delighted that joining me in the studio to chat with me about all of it are two of our region's most well-known business figures, the CEO of PD Ports, Franz Callier. Welcome, Franz.
Thank you, Dave.
And also Cornerstone Business Solutions Director, Chris Bibby. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Hey, Dave.
Both, of course, representing our sponsors today. I'm going to come to you, Franz, if I can first. Thanks for joining us on this inaugural Tees Business TV.
Pleasure and honoured.
That's great to know. Franz, I mean, I think it's fair to say there's been no 2 years like it for the Tees region like these last two.
It's been crazy. We all had to work through the pandemic, and actually the reason as such is a very complicated set of actors and business in itself, which for our business brings lots of complications. And you layer it up with Brexit and COVID, and most people will be aware, and you will be, Dave. Obviously, we had a sale process ongoing as well for the business. So yeah, it's been really, really challenging.
And never mind the general news, PD Ports has been right at the centre of the news as well. It seemed for quite a while that we'd be having a new owner for PD Ports and our own Tees Port. What's the situation there then?
Well, you're very right on that. And we always find ourselves in the centre of the news because for those people who don't know, we are actually Teesside's largest private employer. And we've been here for the last 170 years. I actually looked at it and I wondered to myself, which business in Teesside has been longer around than we have been. We've been here for 170 years. But on the sale pros in particular, it's a lot of work. We're a very big business. We are multi-locational across the UK, 30 locations in general. The 5th largest port in the United Kingdom. Lots of complexities, and you go through a sale process and your life sort of stops. Life as you know it is complicated, including a sale process makes it really, really different. And along and behold, the shareholder decided not to sell. And you sort of look back and you're like, so what did we all the work for? But that's sort of how it goes. But actually, and I can give you some coloration, the valuation that came in were within the range where we expected them to be. But actually, the shareholder then I look at it and I thought, you know what? There's more value to be had because we've got a huge momentum in the business. We keep growing. We had actually a really strong year last year as the year before. And actually, this is actually the wrong moment to let go. So they're back on board, or they'll continue to be on board for the long run. And I think that's really, really good news. I'm really pleased with it.
Exciting times ahead, and we will hear about a little bit more about that later, Franz. If I can turn to you now, Chris, because a friend of yours, your fellow director at Cornerstone, Chris Petty, is one of the men behind the return of the Teesside Air Show. It sounds very exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see it coming back for the area. We've been previously, we had good fun. The kids loved it. We took clients to it, and the clients all had a good day. So it's a bit of a win for everybody, really. It's been a quiet few years, not really any big events like this. So it's good for it to come back. From a personal point of view, our marketing company will be covering a lot of the displays and things that are going on, and any social media and video activity. And I'll be taking the kids, and then on the night shipping them off and having a few drinks and listening to the music as well.
In true Cornerstone style, absolutely. And Chris, I mean, because Cornerstone Visual Media Solutions, a sister company of Cornerstone Business Solutions, also involved heavily at the airport and elsewhere with big screens.
Yes, we set that up towards the beginning of last year, and we set it up because of two quite specific opportunities, which we won both of. Funnily enough, the opportunities, one was the big screen on the Tees Works Gatehouse and at the airport. They'll probably be two of the biggest opportunities that we get in the company's life, really, and going forward, because it's not really what we set the business up for, albeit the opportunities were too good to pass up. It's changed a little bit now into we're managing all of the advertising for the airport, so we're liaising with local businesses to come down and see if they see any value and any benefit in advertising to a wider audience. But going forward, I think it'll be a lot more involved with local authorities, town centres and Teesside Park, things like that have to buy these screens from somewhere, and they're all out of the area, whereas now they've got a company in Teesside that can provide large LED out-of-home screens and any advertising on them. So a little bit of a different future from how the business set up, but exciting.
Exciting times ahead. Thanks, guys. Let's move on to the next part of the show. We'll talk more with Franz and Chris soon, but September this year will see the 5th annual Tees Businesswomen Awards taking place in the Grand Marquee at Hardwick Hall. It's brought to you by Tees Business in partnership with Northern Skills Group, the training and apprenticeships arm of Middlesbrough College. Here's a little look back at last year's awards.
Absolutely incredible to win this award. I am so proud of our team. I'm so proud of all the women who have come before us. I am so proud of the other nominees as well. There was some really, really tough competition.
I'm obviously at such a young stage in my career, and to be surrounded by so many kind of inspirational women tonight, even just listening to the awards that went ahead of me, it was amazing. So yeah, I definitely didn't expect to win, and I was just happy to be here with my family after such a difficult year with COVID. I think we've all had losses, and yeah, happy to be here.
It's so inspiring being here, it's just amazing. The whole atmosphere is brilliant. The fact that our charity has got recognition for that is just so overwhelming, because it means that it just spurs us on and puts us at the forefront of people's minds and helps us push forward.
Really buzzy, isn't it? Special, nice glitzy atmosphere. You can hear everybody enjoying it, all the whooping. It's great.
Wow, I'm absolutely overwhelmed. So really pleased. A really fantastic category to be in. I was really proud to be in it, and obviously the other two contestants absolutely fantastic.
I'm really chuffed, and do you know what? I want to encourage other women to do this. It means so much to me and my family and all the other women who are around us. It'll drive me forward to help them to be the best they can be.
I want girls and women to believe in themselves. I think people need to feel like they can achieve something, and if I can help show that it is possible, then I want to be able to do that however I can do that.
And what a brilliant night that was. Franz, there was quite a few eyebrows raised when Chloe Clover, 29 years old, was voted Tees Businesswoman of the Year. Was that a surprise to you, or is it a case of if you're good enough, you're old enough?
It didn't come as a surprise to me, and the magical word here is merit, right? She started with an idea quite some time ago, and she built it from scratch, right? And the way she's done it, if you look at it, I think that deserves to be recognised, and that's exactly what happened, and I think well deserved, good on her.
And of course, PD Ports were headline sponsors of the Best New Tees Business Awards last year. Well, I know you've supported community projects, You're involved in things like the Teesside Charity and the Digital Poverty campaign. Is that important, do you think, for PD Ports to be very much part of the community it serves?
We're part of the community. I would like to say that we're actually the community as well. All of the people that we employ, and we employ just shy of about 1,500 people now, they all live in the locality of the port as such, whether it's Eston or Grangestown or Redcar, Middlesbrough, Stockton, Darlington if you like, and we're so much part of the fabric that what we're trying to do is actually use the corporate strength that we have, being the size of the business that we are, and also give it back to the community. And there's quite a lot of sometimes hardship or things that are not quite working, and this is where we can make a difference. So it's about having that very symbiotic relationship of the community that we're so much part of. And we have been, I will say it again, and it's something that really stuck with me when I looked at the stats or the statistics actually yesterday. We've been around 170 years. We're here because the whole region is here. It's all interrelated.
Fantastic. Chris, of course, the Cornerstone Business Solutions have supported and sponsored several of these awards before. You've been involved with the Business Women Awards, you've been involved with the Tech Awards, you sponsored the Best New Tees Business Awards, and indeed you were actually one of the winners in the Best New Tees Business Awards last year. That was another of the Cornerstone businesses. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so that was Cornerstone Marketing Solutions. So that was set up around 18 months ago to provide social media management, website and videography for clients across the area. We were a little bit surprised that we won, to be honest, because we were up against some good established companies, but that just made it all the more exciting. We manage the social media and provide videos for the likes of CPD bodies, Core Legal, local firms that we've probably always had a relationship with. We've done work for the Combined Authority and the airport, and we're looking to announce a few new clients over the next few weeks.
Fantastic, great to see you branching out. Next up, we have a quick fire feature in which each time we'll be putting a well-known Tees business leader on the spot about some truly key questions. First to go is Mark Easby, Managing Director of Middlesbrough brand agency Better. Let's hear what Mark had to say.
Transporter bridge, no competition. Got to be the North Yorkshire coast. Saltburn. Future. Work to live. Teesside, all day long. Wine, preferably red. Working late, I'm not an early bird. Buy-in. Palmore, definitely. The legend at Steve Gibson, up the borough. Twitter. Both ideally, but probably brains.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Listening.
Thank you to Mark Easby of Better for playing ball for that very much tongue-in-cheek little feature. And Franz, I'm going to turn to you now. I mean, you're Dutch-born, adopted Teessider, so very much now, I guess, a huge fan of the Palmore too.
Well, before I get to the Palmore, a couple of challenging questions there. I actually couldn't quite make up my mind what I would do. I mean, Steve Gibson, Captain Cook, well, Steve Gibson made it to Eindhoven, whereas Captain Cook managed to make his way to Australia and Hawaii. So it's a challenging one. But on the Palmore, okay, I'll be honest with you. I had 2 in the last 14 years. I'm not going to give up, but I think it's a bit much.
A bit too much to eat?
Yeah, let's put it that way. It's a big dish.
We're not putting you on the spot too much there. We're certainly not going to have any heresy in this room. But I believe Mark Easby, somebody, Franz, that you know very well through his company Better, that you work closely with PD Ports, and you're both big supporters of the High Tide Foundation, and that's something you must be very proud of.
Yeah, the good thing about Mark and Better in general, I'm not going to sort of talk them all up, but they need half a word to understand from ourselves, from a PD perspective, what we want doing, where we want to go, and they just get on with it. And every time they come back with us, it works. I'm really pleased with that. And for them to understand the requirements of local businesses as well as they do, it tells you something how much it all fits together. Now, from a High Tide perspective, this is really about Better, as well as Casper Shipping and ourselves, and a whole bunch of other people and businesses trying to actually make it visible to the young generations that are out there, that actually don't know what they want to do, to lift their aspirations and actually show them what kind of opportunities are actually alive in the Tees Valley. I mean, the opportunities are endless. You're just going to make it visible, and that's what we're trying to do.
Fantastic. And Chris, turning to you, we've got the Tech Awards coming up next, as we've heard, and that's something that the Cornerstone have supported for some time now. Mm-hmm. And I know it's going to be a brilliant night at Hardwick Hall, a big celebration, something that Cornerstone guys don't normally need too much encouragement to do.
No, we do like to mix business and pleasure. We're very serious at what we do during the day. We're really good at what we do, but we also like to take our clients and entertain them and get to know them outside of the boardroom. The thing that kind of helps with that is the amount of charities that we support and that we attend their events. So it feels like there's always a black tie ball to go to, or a golf day. We also sponsor Middlesbrough Football Club, York, Hartlepool and Spennymoor, so that it always feels like there's something to go to if you want to. So if you ever want to go to a game or a do, or anybody wants to go, let us know. There'll be something coming up around the corner.
With a few drinks thrown in?
Possibly.
Our next feature is a company profile, and this time we paid a visit to Middlesbrough's ITS, or to give them their full name, Industrial Technology Systems. We spoke to the guys in charge of one of the region's thriving firms.
Everything we do is about patient safety for regulated industries like the life sciences industries. It's about making sure that our customers' computer-based systems do what they're supposed to do every single time and meet customers' requirements and regulatory requirements. In order to do that, we deliver PLC and distributed control systems, machine vision systems, data acquisition and data analysis systems, robotic systems to pack your products in pharmaceutical production lines. And it's all about using best engineering techniques to deliver exactly what the customer needs and exactly what the patient needs to stay safe. I think what's good about working with and for ITS is our people, quite simply. You know, our engineers and our staff have all set the culture of the business. They've set our core values, and they're constantly driving that each and every day. They set out how we behave with each other, how we behave with our customers, what's expected of each other, and what's not acceptable. They're always asking for feedback. We encourage people to get better every single day. You know, try and be the better version of yourself today than you were yesterday.
We're 30 years old, so we've been running for a long time, so we're established. The quality of the service, I think the specialism, the expertise that the engineers and the rest of the staff have, that they bring to the party for customers' use, is what makes us stand out.
Having spoken to a lot of our customers about this, we regularly look for customer feedback. They do tend to say to us that they're impressed with the range of services that we offer, but also the consideration to patient safety in everything we do in the regulated industries as well. So yeah, they're really happy with our keenness to deliver best engineering practice and patient safety.
I think we've got very aggressive, to some extent, growth plans, but they're structured. We have a strategy for that growth. We've been developing that strategy over the last 3 years, and the way that we're going to do it, we're actually seeing it come to fruition already. So, the beginning of this year, the end of last and the beginning of this is starting to show that what we planned is actually coming to fruition. I know that people worry about the fact that we'll expand to 3 times the size that we are now, and we will. But will we be able to do that sustainably? I think the way that we've put the plan together will actually allow us to do that in a managed way, if you like, that isn't, blow the balloon up till it bursts. It will actually, we'll just expand the company in a controlled manner and a sustainable manner.
Our thanks to Malcolm Knott and the team at ITS for taking us behind the scenes at the Riverside Park base. Now, Chris, I've turned to you on this one. I mean, ITS is a great example of hidden gems in the region. Is that something that you find when you're out and about with your different businesses?
Yeah, definitely. And we know Malcolm, a really nice guy as well as a really good business. Having 3 companies and working with companies in every different industry, different shapes and sizes, geographically, you come across all sorts of companies, and it's always exciting to go to a new business and find out how good they are in their niche, or how big they are, or how long they've been going for. It's one of the perks of the job, getting to meet new people and find out how amazing these companies are.
And Franz, Malcolm and his team there at ITS were talking about their future plans.
Yeah.
And your own future plans have been in the news recently. A cool £75 million in investments, much of it here in the Tees region, earmarked.
Yeah, we've got some really strong growth prospects, and we've got some exciting plans for the immediate future in terms of this year and coming year, 2023. So we're going to expand our container terminal. It's already the 5th largest in the United Kingdom, and we continue to grow, and you need to sort of stay ahead of the game, if you like. Our bulks business, so anything that you get into a ship that doesn't sit in a container, typically we call bulks, that is done very, very well. So we need to expand that handling platform as well. We intend to build a new distribution warehouse that actually all the goods that come in with containers, we can take them out, we put them into a warehouse for onward distribution. So there's lots going on. Oh, last but not least, we're also intending to buy a new dredger. So this is effectively a vessel you can refer to as a floating hoover. And as Mother Nature sort of brings the sand and the silt in and makes the river more shallow, we figure out where the shallowness is, and then we send the dredger in, and it takes it out, and it brings the river back to its depth so we can get the big ships in. And the vessels that we've got are getting to the end of life, and we have to replace one of them. And these vessels are not for the faint-hearted. They're very big, they're very complicated, they're very specialist, and we're going to get a new one. Big investment, all good.
So much exciting things going on.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's now coming up 2 years since COVID and lockdowns became part of our life. And of course, the pandemic has brought very real challenges for businesses in all sectors. For our final feature in this inaugural Tees Business TV, we spoke to Joe Davies at HR Alchemy to discuss some of the ongoing COVID HR challenges.
Well, obviously the biggest complication at the moment is actually getting enough employees at work. In some sectors reporting over 25% absences. You know, it's becoming increasingly difficult. So whilst it's illegal to have somebody at work who knowingly should be self-isolating at home, it's really important that the non-COVID absences are managed fairly and consistently. You know, making sure that people are reporting their absence properly through either a self-certification or through a doctor's fit note, and making sure you're keeping in touch with them regularly, making sure that you're on top of understanding how long people are likely to be off and what time they're going to be returning to work. So that's really important. So for non-COVID related absences, employees are entitled to get statutory sick pay from day 4 of absence onwards, and that's just over £96 per week. Some larger companies do offer companies sick pay, which is more generous than that, but for most employees it's statutory sick pay from day 4 onwards. The government's just announced that from day 1 of COVID related absence that statutory sick pay would apply, and the good news is that from the 21st of December small businesses less than 250 employees are able to reclaim the COVID related statutory sick pay that they've paid out, the details for which are going to be announced sometime this coming month. So at the present time, and as we know these are all subject to regular change, but at the present time, if an employee tests positive, if they live in a household with somebody who's tested positive or is showing symptoms, or if they're contacted by test and trace, then they need to self-isolate for up to 10 days. For those that are fully vaccinated, however, if they're contacted by test and trace, they don't need to self-isolate, but the government advice and recommendations is really that you should be taking a lateral flow test just in case up to the first 7 days. From me is making sure you've got a sickness absence policy in place, and we can help with that if you don't have one. And if you don't have a sickness absence policy in place, then keeping accurate records is absolutely important. Keeping a track of self-certification, doctor's fit notes, keeping in regular contact with the employees while they're off is really, really important. And if you do see a pattern emerging, you know, quite often just having a word in the ear can often resolve the problem. If not, don't be afraid to use the disciplinary procedure. And if you've got a really complex medical matter to deal with, don't be afraid to use occupational health. They can often give you a medical opinion which can really help assist with the more complex nature of some of the absences that you have to deal with.
Our thanks to Jo Davies of HR Alchemy for her specialist answers there. Franz, turning to yourself, PD Port's one of the biggest employers in the Tees region.
The private biggest employer in
the
the
biggest.
Tees region. Yeah. Let's take credit.
No less. And very much, no doubt, lots of HR challenges throughout this pandemic. What's been the biggest?
The one that I wasn't quite expecting is that all of us, we appreciate work-life balances better now than we probably did before. Going back to what Mark already said from Better Brand, I work to live, if you like. And the way we structure, because we've got big ships coming in and there's nothing, and we arrange our colleagues to come in and work those ships is actually quite irregular, and it doesn't quite fit from a work-life balance. And I can see there's quite a lot of change in the way that expectation for people are going to work. In other words, we have to change accordingly our business. Where I thought we were actually spot on the way it worked, actually it doesn't. And there's quite a lot of people I spoke to on very, let's say, personal sessions where they sort of explain, like, it doesn't work for me anymore. I want to do something else. I want to be able to understand that in a week from now I'm going to have 2 days off, so I can take the missus out for dinner. And I think that's a really strong point, and it's a very valid point, and we need to listen. We need to do something with it. So this year, for me, long story short, is all about culture, and it's about change, and it's about changing the way we work.
It's great that the pandemic has made us change for the better in many circumstances. Chris, I know at Cornerstone, when the pandemic first hit and lockdown came, there was lots of people reverting to home working. That was an incredibly busy time for Cornerstone at that point. What's your views going forward? Do you think that there's going to be a case of Zoom and Teams and home working here to stay? Are we going to go back to where we used to be, or might there be some sort of hybrid?
Definitely hybrid, because the solutions worked so well and are so cheap. It makes sense to offer that to people that where their job allows it and if they want to. So I think that'll be here forever now. If it was expensive, nobody would have bothered and they'd have just got everyone back in the office. But because it's so cheap to allow people to do that, I think that'll be around for forever now. And hybrid's definitely the way forward, certainly for us.
Dave, can I just back that up and just add it to it a little bit? Actually, if you think, in my view, right, in the 21st century, if you're going to bring people into the office because you need to understand what they're doing, so you want to control them or to control the output, then your business model doesn't work, right? You employ people, you've got to trust them. Otherwise, you're not employing the right people. And for people to actually have that work-life balance, and actually you save on the travel, maybe 2-3 times a week, could save 3 hours of traveling. That's almost half a day's work. But people can actually use them more effectively for the children or for themselves. I think it's the way forward. And to go back to the old model for me, I think would be bizarre, to be honest.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and time will tell how it goes as we finally, hopefully, see the back of COVID.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
All good things come to an end, and alas, that's all we have time for on this very first edition of Tees Business TV. A big thank you to Franz Callier of PD Ports and to Chris Bibby of Cornerstone Business Solutions for being such engaging studio guests. Thanks to our viewers for joining us. We do hope you've enjoyed Tees Business TV, and we'll see you again soon. And in the meantime, keep on talking up Teesside and the Tees Valley. We'll see you next time.